Hey, what's up guys? So I am standing in my latest purchase and I really wanted to do a video about this project and the price. So I have been talking about the market prices and property prices booming and if they're going to fall or they have fallen or they're plateaued. But I have always said if you get a great deal or you find a below market value, or you do something which contradicts the actions of all the masses and all the copycats, then that is the right deal to go for. And what I am standing in is a great example of that. So those of you who know the type of properties that I buy and the type of areas that I invest in will know that there are two types of local authority houses which I particularly like. They're built well and they are really close to the university. And the layout does mean that I can always get 5 bedrooms with 5 en suites in them, which makes them fantastic student houses, and the rents are just as good. The problem is I've been so active in this area for such a long time that property prices have gone through the roof. The secret is out. And everyone and their mother is trying to climb on the bandwagon, whether that be buying these to refurbish for themselves or using them as tools to do joint ventures or selling them on to property investors as sources. Either way, all of that compounded together has pushed these prices up massively. Now, I remember when I was being offered these deals just as I was getting started and I was putting my nose up at them at 150k. And I do remember before I was even really involved in property, these selling for like 100 and 110. Then when they jumped up to 200k, I really sort of stood back and thought, what is going on here? After reviewing what the market was doing and how far it could go versus the income, I knew that property prices were going to climb even further. But that didn't mean that I was going to continue to buy them at the highest price. And this is what this video is all about, is the price that you pay for deals. Now, these have been 250 plus for the last 2 to 3 years, and you haven't been able to really pick them up for 250. And typically they've been pushing the 270 mark. This is before you put a 25 to 35 grand refurb into it. So it didn't really make sense to me. So I haven't bought one of these for a little while. And the last one I did buy, I managed to negotiate a great deal at 217,500. And I went on to sell that property at 375. So a great overall project. But the only reason I decided to sell that and not refinance it was one, to capitalize on the booming market, the masses paying way over the odds, paying literally 10-20% more to save a few percent on the stamp duty holiday. And that unorganic inflated market has started to pan out. The other reason why I decided to sell that deal is because I knew I had this one secured, hidden in the background, my little secret deal. Now I paid a little bit more for this. I paid 230, but this is in an even better location. And this one is a bigger property. There's two types of layouts. This one is the latter, and it is a slightly bigger property, which gives me bigger rooms and bigger communal space. I also think that this is a better location in terms of postcode area. This has a better higher end value. And when I had it valued for purchase, I got the bank to give me the GDV figure, which was around 20 grand more than the value I got on the other one that I sold, but still a good 30 grand under what I sold it for eventually. So that does mean you need to be really careful with these end values versus what you can sell them for versus what you're going to get from the wild west that is the revaluations from surveyors. And the reason why I am jumping from room to room is, one, to keep you interested, but two, to show you the condition of this house. It has been untouched for 30 plus years. And just like the other one from last year, and probably another 20 like this that I've bought, they're all in similar conditions. And the reason why it doesn't really matter is because I am going to go through this property and gut it and strip it right back to bare brick and start afresh. So it doesn't really matter what condition it's going to be in. Now I paid 230, which is a good 13 grand more than I paid on the other one. But it's like 30 to 40 grand less than what everyone else is paying. And it wasn't off market. It wasn't a super complex deal where I had to pull loads of tricks of the trade and do loads of different contracts and options and all these different things and assisted sales. It was literally a lady who had inherited a property that she knew needed work and she didn't want to get messed around. And she knew of my local reputation and my historic purchases. And I sat down and I was honest with her what could delay things, but what can speed things up. And we worked closely together, communicated over text message, over the whole conveyancing process, and we were able to push and put pressure on solicitors to not delay things. And that kept her happy, that kept the deal firmly in my hands. And now I'm looking at a great project which I'll be able to buy, refurbish, refinance, pull all my money out and then some, and I'll have a student house which will rent for probably close to £3,000 per calendar month. That's 36 grand a year. And what I found really interesting is that this lady who sold via an agent online through Rightmove was getting bombarded with offers from people she'd never met. But because I took the time to sit down and talk to her and to understand what her position was and where she wanted to be, and more importantly, how she didn't want to be messed around, the value for her was in doing the right deal. Also, in our local area, there's been an influx of new property investors, new rent-to-renters, whatever you want to call them, all fresh off training courses. And I don't say that to be negative to anyone new and looking to get into property. But what I do say is that estate agents and sellers see new individuals every single day. You're nothing new. So don't come in all guns blazing thinking that you're saying something completely unique, because we've heard it all before. And because of that, we are getting lots and lots of people come in with high offers and then pull out of sales. Either they can't get the cash together, they can't sell the deal, it gets downvalued, whatever it may be. And I had this open conversation with the vendor. I said, you probably will get a higher offer, but we are seeing a lot of down valuations. I made a commitment to her to pay a price. It was a fair price and it stayed that price throughout the whole process. So I cannot wait to bring you the videos and the pictures throughout this refurb, and more importantly, the pictures of when it's all done and dusted and finished, and I can show you the aftermath of what is going to be the best student house that I have ever done. But look, that's it from me. Hope you found the content rich. I'll catch you all on the next video.